Probing Wike will only escalate Rivers crisis, Senator Nwogu tells Fubara. What are you trying to say here? So now the Fubara saying he's going to probe Wike now has started sending shockwaves to the opposition party. I'm telling you. And right now, the Wike must be probably walking around the clock through back door to discourage Fubara from doing the probe, telling him that he also has a stake in Wike's administration. This guy is a technocrat, a civil servant, and somebody who keeps documents, an accountant, has all the records, and he knew, having worked with Wike for 8 years, he obviously knew who Wike is and must have had his backup in case Kasala burst in future. So this guy is going to be very deadly and might produce some kind of mouth-watering evidence if he starts the probe. So now that this Senator Nwogu is trying to discourage Fubara from probing, then there must be something that we need to know. Senator Olaka Nwogu has told Rivers State Governor Sir Siminalayi Fubara that his plot to probe the past administration is a mere witch hunt that will escalate the ongoing crisis. What does that mean? The former senator and elder statesman who represented the Rivers Southeast in the National Assembly said any attempt to initiate any probe at this stage of the crisis would be viewed as a vendetta. So speaking in Port Harcourt on Monday, in response to moves by the state government to probe Nyesom Wike's administration as governor of Rivers State, Nwogu said such a probe will never be objective as Fubara and Wike ran the same administration. In English they speak. After all, witches can confess after all the atrocities, so let it go. Recall that Chief Nyesom Wike is the immediate past governor of Rivers State, whose 2 terms of 8 years began in 2015 and culminated in 2023, while Sir Siminalayi Fubara served as the Accountant General of the state from 2020 to 2022. Can you imagine? So it was just 2 years. So Nwogu said while Wike was the governor, Fubara was the gatekeeper, adding that the disposition of the governor has negated all the peace overtures and spited the President Bola Tinubu's President Bola Tinubu. That is English. He said there is nothing extraordinary about investigation except that in the circumstances we find ourselves, it will not appear as something done to promote good governance. It appears as designed for witch hunt or to endorse a particular label already put on somebody. So recall that when this started, they started saying that the minister was asking for a certain percentage of money, which is not true. Were you there? So it was dealt with when the governor came to meet with the elders, and we met with the minister where he recanted most of the things he wrongly labeled the minister as part of the reconciliation process. So this completely negated the instruction the president gave and the mediatory efforts of the president. So the governor is saying that the president wasted his time. It is something Rivers people must be careful about. What are you saying? So referring to Wike as the greatest governor Rivers State ever produced, Nwogu said some people were pushing the agenda through the governor to humiliate Wike. Some people may say, condemn him, but this is the greatest governor we ever had. All these are simply efforts to destroy him. If this is what they had wanted to do, it should have been part of the government. Can you imagine? Describing the probe move as diversionary, Nwogu stressed that it was preconceived to hoodwink people to think ill of the FCT minister. How is Wike and Fubara different? They ran the same government. One was the gatekeeper of the other. This is going to be very selective. This is an attempt to criminalize a good governor that was the envy of the entire nation. We should be careful at how far we escalate this. Let me urge for caution. Let me ask people to be mindful. But the same Wike is trying to destroy Fubara and to remove him from office at all costs. What did you say about it, Chief Nwogu? That's the question. Wike is doing everything to make sure he removes Fubara from that seat. And he's using APC, using everything. And you've not seen anything wrong with that. But now, Fubara want to take an action as a governor to put things right in the state, to rewrite the wrongs. And now, or rather to right the wrongs, now you are seeing it as a vendetta, personal vendetta, that is going to be a selective probe. How are you saying that? What is it going to escalate? The governor is there and he wants to do what he wants to do. He knows what he's doing. So he said the only sin the former governor committed was making Fubara a governor, observing that it became obvious that the minister had been the victim and not the aggressor. Can you imagine? So all the time they say the governor is a victim, the minister is the aggressor. But if you look carefully, you will understand right from the beginning, all the minister did was to make him a governor, so he has been at the receiving end. So he is actually a victim of unwarranted and undesired attack. This agenda is unfolding, and it is very terrible agenda of our state. This is the direction. This is a direct spite on the president. If he chooses to abandon the 8-point agenda and to pursue his discourse, it means he has no respect for president's intervention. So, but you are not aware that the Yorubas have asked Wike to apologize to Tinubu for not respecting Tinubu, because Fubara has tried to keep his part of the obligation, but Wike refused to keep his own part of it and kept on fighting Fubara, saying he must remove him, and everybody is hailing him, the emperor of our time. He's going to destroy Fubara. Fubara should be careful, this and that. Now, he wants to use the power of executive. They are calling it vendetta now. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. So these are unnecessary escalation. It tenses the place up. As a governor, do your job. You will be judged by the infrastructure you provide. But if you think that fighting people will add to your scorecard, let us see how. Can you imagine? So you are challenging him. If you want to prove the past administration on which records, the person setting up the panel is also the record keeper. This is just the most absurd of all the absurdities. Now English they speak. The guy has told you people that he will surprise you, that he decided to sign and agree to implement the 8-point agreement with Tinubu and Wike. But if people are taking it for the weakness on his part, he said he will surprise all of you. Now he's out to do his job, and you guys are talking because you think he's a small boy and he's going to be a pushover. Now he's telling you he knows it's right and he understands the politics. Wike was an emperor for 8 years and was insulting all of you, insulting even traditional rulers, insulting everybody. Nobody could look into his eyes and tell him enough is enough. But now Fubara is trying to put his leg down to do the needful, and people are beginning to come. This Chief Nwogu is beginning to speak, from another side of the mouth. This is not going to work. Someone say this old man is proof that wisdom does not come automatically with age. Very shameful. Exactly. Very, very shameful. What is this man saying here? The governor has been threatened of being removed by Wike's House of Assembly members. He has to fight back to save his job as the governor. You should not bring president into this, because the president did not see anything wrong in the campaign of the members of the House of Assembly from their party to the president's party when settling the rift. So it was a biased settlement, hence it cannot stand. Of course. As I say, it is better to witch hunt the witch. In our state, nothing has happened. You have started complaining. Fools, not be lie. At least let them probe. Useless Ikore man speaking here. Anofia, Wike is your God, not reverence God. Oswald. Wow, someone said, what do you mean? Is he a spirit? Yes. Wike is not a spirit now. Someone said, are you and Wike afraid of probe? You sound biased already. Wike is the man that rigs election, but this one he rigged will not cross his truth. Portraitments of Olaka Nwogu. Not be lie. Let it escalate. You don't fear. Not be lie. He's trying to push a narrative now that fear, because he knows that what Fubara is going to do, even if he stays 4 years, what the 4 years is going to assume is going to consume all of them. Fear is not gripping Wike's camp. Okay? As Fubara begins to probe, that is it. Fear, very serious fear and shock wave now in Wike's camp. That is it. So now that Fubara wants to do the needful, Chief Nwogu is now beginning to speak a different language, saying that Wike has been the best governor or the greatest governor of Rivers State. How? When he was insulting all the traditional rulers, insulting everybody, insulting Odile, insulting everybody in the state. He will get what he wants. He will get what he wants. There's nothing they can do about it. So that is what is happening as Fubara prepares to probe Wike. Fear and shock waves grip Wike's camp with Chief Nwogu confessing now. So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment.